Hi everyone, it's Laura Milligan. Thank you for joining me today for my weekly Facebook Live, Be Live with Laura. I appreciate you being here, and I have some fun projects I'm going to share with you today. I wanted to mention that we are coming to the end of celebration. It ends the end of February, which, believe it or not, is 1 week from today. I can't believe that. I don't know where this month has gone. So if you're there, say hi. Let me make sure I've got everything connected here and I'm in the right place. I know there's always a little bit of a delay, so please say hi and give me a check-in. If you're watching on replay, you can just type in replay. And by leaving a comment today, you have a chance to win the cards that I am going to make for you today. I'm making two cards. So there's Colleen. Hi, Colleen. Thank you for checking in. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera down and give you this view. So these are the cards that I made. I did not go live last week. I did a replay of the Art in Bloom hybrid bundle, which is in our annual catalog. It's really pretty, and I thought that some of you would enjoy seeing that again because I have a lot of new viewers, which I really appreciate. So these are the cards that I made 2 weeks ago, and these were I called it a stack, cut, and shuffle technique, and I featured the Abstract Beauty Bundle. This is from our January to June mini catalog. It is a gorgeous suite of products, and I will probably be doing some more things with this, but this shows everything that's in the suite. And one thing that I love Stampin' Up! Is doing is that you can write down one number, the suite collection, 158052, and get everything included in this suite. You'll get one of everything. It makes ordering super simple. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Sarah, Tanae, Ellen, Susie Q. So glad to see you all. Thanks for joining me. So let me flip these over and see who our winners are. And I will get these in the mail probably tomorrow. There's no mail today. It's a holiday. But Lisa Spacek, I do not have your address, so please message me so that I can get this card in the mail to you. This one is going to Kim Dorsey. Anne Marie Ware, she is usually on here. I haven't seen her checking in yet, but Anne Marie, that's going to be for you. Cindy Bowen, that's for you. And then these cards I made, this was when I did my Facebook Live Take Two, and it featured the Calming Camellia bundle or stamp set that is a bonus host reward during celebration with the $300 order. And I got a lot of good feedback on these two cards. This one is going to Cheryl Davis, and Cheryl, I see you there. So this one will go in the mail to you. And then this one is probably my favorite. This is going to Ellen Williams. So Ellen, I see that you're on watching today. So be sure to message me your address so that I can get this in the mail to you. So congratulations to those 6 winners. That's always kind of fun. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I use these, I'm going to bring these in. I'm using something from the annual catalog. These are the Scalloped contour dies, and I use these dies all the time. These rectangle shapes, they have stitching. Some of them have little scallops that cut out when you do these dies. But I really have not used this bundle very much. And I thought this maybe would be a good time to do that. So this is the Color and Contour bundle. It is from our annual catalog. It's on page 98. And of course, if you get the bundle, which is the stamp set and the set of dies, you save 10%. It's $50.25. And if you get this bundle, this would qualify as a free celebration reward because it's over $50. So you could pick out one of our celebration offerings for free. And I have been showing those to you all month long, and actually January as well. So this is the Color and Contour bundle. So let me show you. I want to show you these dies. One of the dies that I love, which I'm actually using on my first card, is this scallop. And it actually not only scallops your cardstock or designer paper, but it also stitches. So that I use that on my first card. Let me pull the supplies over Set this out of the way here a minute. Okay. All right, so first let me show you. This is the designer series paper that is part of this. It's called hand penned, and these are the papers. They're so soft and pretty, and I love these colors. Here's a look at the other side. These are, of course, bolder, brighter images. They're florals, some different patterns with those. Love, love, love these colors. That is the hand pen designer series paper. That's also in the annual catalog. And then I'm also using this really awesome paper, and this is called Ombre Specialty Paper. And let me just, I'm going to pull this out of the package here because I want to show you how beautiful this is. So it's ombre and it's glimmery. So, for example, this piece, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera, but you can, yeah, if I hold it this way, you can see how it's lighter here and then it gets darker as it goes down. Here's a different color. Love this one. Look how gorgeous the paper is. And then there's this beautiful blue. And it starts light and gets darker. It's like an ombre effect. Really pretty. And it has a little bit of shimmer and sparkle to it. So that's really pretty. I am using today this, let's see if I can get it here. This mango piece. Well, and I actually use the purple for it as well. So let me get my parts and pieces out and let me show you how this card goes together. I'm using a basic white card base. And here is the card. This was my sample card. Really bright and shimmery. And I think you can maybe see how that ombre paper just shimmers. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun for the project that I'm making for you today to switch up the color. I really wanted to use this purple. I thought that looked pretty with it as well. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me grab some white cardstock here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. Some of this I've already stamped and die cut just to save a little time, but I wanted to show you how I stamped these images. So I'm going to start with my flowers. And so what I did was, this is a two-step stamp set. So you can see there is an outline of the flower and then a second stamp that fills in the color. And I normally will do the outline first and then the more solid image second. You can do it either way. It's kind of a matter of personal preference. So whatever you think is easier for you. So I'm going to do one with Mango Melody, and then I've also done one with Polished Pink. So I'm just going to show you, and I'll tell you what I did. I don't know if you can see this, but I put a little dot, a black dot, with just a Sharpie marker on the back side, the flat side of the stamps, here and here, and that's going to help me line these up. Now these are, you don't have to have them perfectly lined up. It's kind of like a watercolor look, and you know, of course, with watercoloring, you want to go outside of the lines. I think it makes it look prettier and more like a watercolor. But it did help me. I like to line them up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp, and you can see there is my black dot. This is Mango Melody. So there's the outline. And then here's my dot, so it's going to go over here. And what I did with this was ink it up, and I stamped it off first because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to sort of line that up kind of where that other dot was on the first one. And there you can see I've added some soft color. Now I then used the die cut for this flower, which I will show you right here. And just ran that through my die cutting machine. So I did one in Mango Melody, and then I did the same. I cleaned my stamp and did the same thing in Polished Pink. So I stamped the outline, and then for the the stamp that fills it in with the color, I stamped off and then stamped it over that. So I've already die cut both of those just to save a little bit of time. And so let me put this ink away. And then I used this image from the stamp. And I will say this, I love the words in this stamp set. I think it's really good. And I always love a good two-step stamp set. Okay, so then I stamped some of the leaves, and I did that in Granny Apple Green. It's just a bright green color. And I stamped 3 of these. And what I did with this, so I'm stamping 3 of those, and then I got to reach up here because I forgot, excuse me, excuse my arm there. I'm going to use a blender pen, and I'm just going to blend this color just a little bit. And if you want it to be a little darker, you can just pick up your color right from your ink pad. Just want to highlight that edge a little bit. I'm kind of just softening the edge. And you can do as little or as much as you want. Okay, so that's how I did the leaves. Just softened it a little bit, added a little bit of color. If you've never used a blender pen before, they're really fun. And what you do now, since I'm done with my green, I'm going to go ahead and just scribble this on my paper till it comes clean, and then it'll be ready for the next time that I want to use it. So you can use these on all different colors. All right, and then let's see, I'm going to stamp, I was talking about this image and then I never stamped it. So this one I'm going to stamp in the beautiful Highland Heather color. Purple is always good, I think. So I'm going to ink this up, Highland Heather. Go ahead and stamp that. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so you know that I always recommend stamping on something that gives a little bit. This is a little grid pad, but below this is one of these deluxe foam mats, which is actually an accessory that comes with the Stamparatus, but it's foamy, and it helps get a better impression when you're stamping a photopolymer stamp set. The next part of this that I'm going to do is, this is a two-step stamp, so I have this stamp here that's going to fill in the color of these flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up, and I stamped off on this as well. I'm just going to stamp it on my grid paper, and then I'm going to line this up. And what helps with this is this little shape here. I'm going to kind of get that positioned. And again, I never worry about it being perfectly placed because it's a watercolor look. It's soft, and I don't know that it was made to fit perfectly. So we have that, and then what I did was I took the die. There is a die for that. You can find it here. And it just cuts that whole thing out. I've already got one cut right there. And then, unfortunately, there is not a die for the leaves, but they're pretty easy to cut. So I just cut these with my paper snips. Cut those 3 leaves, and I think that's all I need. Now I want to show you, I used, this is that specialty ombre paper, and I thought these colors looked really pretty with the purple. I like it with the Mango Melody as well, but I thought the purple kind of pulled the purple from there, so that's what I ended up using. And that is this die that I was talking about earlier. So you just position that like that and run it through your die cutting machine, and it comes out scalloped and stitched. Let me hold this up. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Maybe you can see the stitching, maybe like right there in that area, but it's stitched all the way along. And I just angled it to do that. And now I'm ready to put my card together. So I'm going to start with my card base, and let me get these things out of the way here for a second. These pretty colors makes me think of spring. I think we're all ready. I love snow, but I will say I am loving the thought of spring coming. Okay, so I'm going to start by just stamping this image down this way, like that. And I'm going to fill this in with this two-step stamp, and I'm going to stamp off just like I did on the first one. And I'll line this up like that. Okay, that's at the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to add my words, and these are right from that stamp set. Thank you for everything. Now I just re-inked this ink pad, so I'm going to just press really, really lightly because it is very, very wet. And that's just going to go down here in this corner like that. Okay. And then one of the things that I love in this set is this little splatter. I always love when a stamp set includes that. And I'm going to stamp that in the Granny Apple Green, and that is, of course, just going to pull from the green leaves. And what I want to do, I'm going to position this, and that will give me an idea of about where I want to put these little green. Just put some there, and I'll put some there, just like that. All right, now we're ready to put this together. So let me get my inks out of the way. Oh, there's a lot of people joining in. Yeah, I think it's going to be almost 60 degrees here today, which is really awesome. Pat and Patricia and Carol, Candy, welcome everybody. All right, so I'm going to take my glue, and I'm just going to attach this to my card. I'm just going to center this. It's going to go up to the top and just position it evenly from left to right. I'm going to give that a hold a minute. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see the sparkle. I wish you were here. It's like diamonds almost. It's just so pretty. All right, so the first thing I'm going to adhere is this piece, and I want to put 2 of the leaves on here as well, like that. So I think I'm going to use my glue dots and just attach these. Attach them to each other, and then I'll just attach them onto the on the back side of that flower. So I'll just put those right here like that, just about like that. And I'm going to pick up another glue dot on the front of this, and I'll use that to tuck it behind, just like that. And then I'm going to use my dimensionals and pop this whole piece up. And I think I have some dimension. I actually have dimensionals today. Usually when I pull my dimensionals, they're almost all gone, but I'm good to go today. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. And this is just going to go, just going to angle that a little bit. I'll put it about right there, like that. And then I'm just going to add my flowers. So I'm going to do one of the flowers here and one of the flowers here, just like that. I'm going to pop those up. I want to cut this off because I don't really like that showing. So I'm just going to take my paper snips, snip that right there, snip that stem off. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I have one more leaf, and I'm going to just position that going down this way. And this one I'm just going to put on its own dimensional. I could have done that with the ones at the top, but I just thought for those it was easier to attach them behind the purple. So I'm going to put that right there like that. And then I'll just attach these flowers. So first I'm going to do that one, and I'm actually going to just put the dimensional on this side here, because it's the other side will be popped up as it rests on this panel. So I'm going to put just a little glue here, and that'll hold that in place. So I'm going to position that probably about right there. That looks pretty good. So that's popped up, and that's going to stick down there like that. And then I'll just pop this one up as well. I'll just put a dimensional there. I think these colors are so pretty, and they're maybe not colors that I would normally think of, but boy, I just think they're pretty. And then I'm just going to take a little, put a little dab of glue there to hold that in place. All right. So there is my first card. I left it really plain. I thought about adding some iridescent gems. I tried to resist because sometimes it's nice to keep things really simple, but since I have them right here, I'm going to put some on my card. I just can't resist. So I'm just going to put a couple of these. I think I'll put one here, and I'll put a couple up here. I love these iridescent gems, and I think it kind of just finishes the card. One there. I think I'll put another one here. All right. So what do you think? Which is your favorite? I personally like this purple one better, but I also like the Mango Melody. It's a color that I don't use a lot, but I agree, Colleen. It really does remind me of spring, the beautiful colors. And so which is your favorite? Do you like the purple or the Mango Melody color? Let me know. I'd love to know. So that's my first card. My next card also uses that same bundle, Color and Contour. You know, I think a lot of times we get excited, of course, when the new catalog, the annual catalog comes out. There's always so much in our annual catalogs. And then they release the mini catalogs, and we get all caught up in those. And I think sometimes we miss some of the things that are really pretty in the annual catalog. And I feel like this bundle of products is one of those things. So this next card, here's my sample. So let me just show you how to put this together. Again, this is pretty springy looking. I should mention if there are any products that you would like to order, you can go to my blog at lauramilligan.com and click on shop. That will take you directly to my store, and it is still celebration. Like I mentioned, if you spend $50 in product, if you purchase $50 in product, then you qualify for a free celebration reward. This is the celebration brochure. Hopefully you all have this or have seen it, but there are a lot of choices for $50. Island Vibes stamp set is free with a $50 purchase. Daffodil Afternoon Designer Paper. This has been super, super popular. Of course, we all love the daffodils in spring. Catching Butterflies is an adorable stamp set. Driving By is a really fun stamp set. Here is some Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper. These are all free with a $50 purchase. And then the Simply Marvelous is also free. That's designer paper. And then the Adorable Otters. What I should do maybe next week is I'll pull some of the samples that I've made with these products and share them with you, because next Monday is the last day for celebration. All right, so let me go ahead and show you how I put this card together. This was fun. I used it's a Pale Papaya card base, and I used some of the designer paper, the hand pen DSP. I love this, and it's sort of like a ombre look as well, a weathered sort of look, and I love how the color is kind of light and dark like that. All right, so what I did for this, it's actually very similar to what I did with these other flowers, but instead of making them all the same color, I made the stems green and then added color to the floral part. So let me just show you. I'll just show you one of these, how I did these. I think you can probably figure it out, but I'm here to show you, so let me do that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is clean off this stamp. This is my little Stampin' Chamois. It does not look pretty, but it does a great job of cleaning the stamps. So I'm going to make sure that's clean, and I'm going to make sure that this little inside part is clean as well. What I did, this is actually half of a chamois. I actually cut it in half and just put it in this stamp case an extra stamp case that I had. It's nice to keep handy when you're creating. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with Granny Apple Green. You know, I agree. Carol says, I'm so glad you're using something from our regular catalog. There are so many great things in there, and I feel like we miss them, and I wanted to make sure to point this one out. Okay, so there I have everything in green, and now I am going to, I'll fill this in with Mango Melody. Oh, you know what? I didn't use Mango Melody. Oh, yes, I did. I'm sorry. I used Mango Melody. Calypso Coral is this one. And then my Highland Heather. So for the Highland Heather and the Calypso Coral, I stamped off like I did with these flowers because I wanted to have a contrast, and I felt like they were too dark. I wanted them to be a little more light in color. Actually, you know what? I'm telling you the wrong thing. I stamped off when I did the Calypso Coral and the Mango Melody. For the Highland Heather, I went directly from the ink pad. In fact, let me find that. I'll show you. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to sort of eyeball that little bud there and get this lined up. And I didn't stamp off. I just felt like it was, there we go. And look how pretty, isn't that pretty? So I did this 3 times. I stamped 3 stems and then just filled them in with the 3 different colors. I've already gone ahead and die cut those. I ran them through my die cutting machine. And I'm ready to put this card together. Oh, I'm going to stamp my words. Let me find my little, let's see. Somewhere here, I think I may need to have my friend come to my rescue. Renee is here today, and Renee and Sandra and I, oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Renee and Sandra and I have been working like crazy. We are up to our eyeballs in retreat preparation. I have a retreat this weekend, and I don't know that people realize how much preparation goes into these retreats, but it is a ton of work. It's also a ton of fun, and I'm really excited and looking forward to, you know what, I think I could make this piece work. I will. I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing all the people that are coming. It's going to be wonderful, and I'm going to just go ahead and do this. I'm all set, Renee.
Are you sure?
Yep, thank you. We have piles of things everywhere, and we're kind of pulling everything together today, but oh my, it's fun. It's fun. I'm thankful that this is what I get to do. Okay, so one of the stamp sets, that's one of the word sets that I love in this Color and Contour stamp set is this You're Absolutely Amazing. I think that is a great sentiment to send to anybody. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up in Highland Heather and stamp that right on this little piece. Okay, there we have that. And that's all the stamping I'll do. So I'm going to take my Pale Papaya card base and give this a nice crease. This ribbon is also from the annual catalog. It's just called Highland Heather grosgrain ribbon, but it has a little bit of a sparkle in it. And I thought since I was using Highland Heather ink, this would look gorgeous. With this ribbon is beautiful. I'm just going to do like a little folded piece. So we'll go ahead and cut that. And I'm just going to attach this right here on the edge. And to do that, I'm just going to use a little bit of my Stampin' Seal. I'll just position that like that. Okay. Next, I'm going to add this panel. And this is, you know what, I need to adjust this a little bit because it's going to, let me move this up a little bit. There we go, that's better. I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. So I'll go ahead and add those. I'm just going to put, I think, one in each corner. So anyway, I should say I will not be going live this Thursday because I will be headed down to my retreat. I can hardly wait. So excited. It's going to be so much fun. We have some really fun things planned. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just take these 3 different colored flowers, and they're going to be positioned on there. I'm going to start with this one. I will go ahead and attach that first. And I'm mainly putting adhesive in the center here because the buds, as you can see, are above the scallop contour. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the stem here. So we'll put that in place like this. And these are going to overlap a little bit. I'm going to just kind of position these first to make sure that, okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do this one next. Same thing, a little bit of glue in the center. These are just going to barely touch like that. We want to get them, here we go, like that. And then I'll do the last one, and it's just going to go right there next to the yellow, Mango Melody. Okay. And that's just going to overlap a little bit there. I'm going to pull that up a little bit. There we go. So they're just sort of overlapping. And then I'm going to take, I cut this piece of vellum with one of the smallest die, and I love that it has not only the scallop but the little holes. I think that's so cute. That's going to go right here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. I know Sarah's one of the people coming and to the retreat. She may be traveling the furthest to come. I'm super excited about that. Can't wait to see you, Sarah. Give you a hug. Okay, and then I'm going to just put this panel here. I'm going to go ahead and pop it up. Why not? Go ahead and pop that up. So be sure to leave a comment, even if you're watching a replay, and I will be, whoops, I need to center this. Center this right there. Like that. And for this one, I'm going to use the Genial Gems. I'm going to use the peachy color just to add some something. And let's just put a few of these here, and I'll put a couple up here, just sort of tuck them onto this designer paper panel. Right there. Okay, and then to finish this, I have just a 4x5 1/4 white, basic white, and I'll just attach this to the center of my card. So for the envelope, you could, of course, use some of the designer paper on the flap. You could also stamp one of these florals. That would be beautiful as well. But so there is my second card. Let me hold it up a little bit so you can see. You can see those gems, the Genial Gems sparkling a little bit. Let me bring this other one in. So these are my 2 cards featuring the Color and Contour bundle. And so let me know what you think. I hope you like this. And don't forget about all the great things that are available in our annual catalog. I may be featuring them more as the weeks go on. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you all have a great week. If any of you are watching that are coming to the retreat this weekend, I cannot wait to see you. We are praying for good weather and safe travels because I have several people coming from out of state, so we hope that they can arrive safely. I can't wait to see you all. For those of you watching, thank you so much for watching today. I will be back on Monday I can give you a little recap of the retreat and maybe share a little bit about what we did. And so I look forward to seeing you next Monday at 1 o'clock. It's the last day of February, which means it's the last day to qualify for Celebration Rewards. And so I hope that you will join me. I appreciate you watching today. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.